New this morning here, an overnight apartment fire leaves one woman with a minor burn injuries, forces 8 people out of their homes. Crews say were called to the complex near 7th Avenue in Camelback. It was around 11:45 last night. Smoke was seen coming from that second-story unit. 4 units were damaged. No one else was hurt, and the cause is unknown at this time.
Police declaring an unlawful assembly during an immigration rights protest in Glendale last night.
It all happened after a demonstration outside of the Westgate Entertainment District in Glendale there in the West Valley, right near State Farm Stadium. So Sky Fox over the protest earlier in the evening. Police say at one point, after the number of protesters dwindled down, some tried to walk on the Loop 101 freeway. Well, officers blocked the road and declared an unlawful assembly. Sky Fox here overhead capturing officers in riot gear in the area. And this was the 4th straight night of protests in the valley against President Trump's immigration policies.
We're learning more about a woman arrested following Monday night's protest at the state capitol. Shayla Fairmich is facing a criminal damage charge. DPS says she knocked down a drone by throwing a plastic water bottle at it. She's also said to have, quote, passively resisted as she was taken into custody.
New details this morning on a tragic accident this week in the East Valley. It killed a Valley father and his 8-year-old daughter. Yeah,
we are hearing now from their loved ones in Mesa. Irene Snyder is live with more details on this heartbreaking story. Good morning, Irene.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, just absolutely so heartbreaking. Family and friends of Troy and Elsie Garlock are trying to make sense of this terrible tragedy. You can take a look here. We're at the crash site right now. This happened Monday morning. You can see family, friends, supporters have come out here and created a memorial in honor of the father and his little girl. We have stuffed animals here, flowers and candles in their memory. The 8-year-old girl and her 42-year-old father, they were both killed in the crash near Val Vista Drive and Southern Avenue Monday morning. Another daughter was in the car at the time, 6-year-old Mabel. She survived. Workers at Can Dance Studios, which is not far from this intersection, say Elsie took lessons at the studio. The little girl loved to dance. She worked hard and even placed at Nationals last year.
I can do anything, you can do it, and you give it to her, and she did, and she calmed down, and she started honing in her performances, and everything she just skyrocketed so quick.
The Garlock family posted an update on their GoFundMe page. Elsie's sister Mabel is out of surgery and recovering with many broken bones. Over $82,000 has been raised so far. You can find a link to that if you want to help out the family on our website, fox10phoenix.com. Police say the vehicle that struck their car was stolen, and the driver of that vehicle also killed in Monday morning's crash. We'll send it back to you.
All right, what a tragic story. Irene, thank you. Time now, 7:04, Fox follow-up for you on calls for several school board members of a West Valley district to resign.
Well, the board's president is responding to criticism from parents and teachers as well. Brian Parks tells us that the outrage from some parents and teachers stems from policy changes made within the Liberty Elementary School District. The board president says this all dates back to the election of the board members. The Liberty Elementary School District is home to 7 schools across Buckeye, Goodyear, and Rainbow Valley. They're in the West Valley. It serves about 5,000 students. The district removed DEI, gender ideology, and critical race theory. Traditional discipline policy was also implemented, removing restorative justice and positive behavior intervention. He also says the district is spending close to $3 million in reserves after a bond did not pass.
We're kind of bursting at the seams. We removed all political ideology out of the classrooms. I think kids deserve a sanctuary away from political and now.
Teachers say more than a dozen of them have now left since the beginning of the school year because of a toxic culture of intimidation from the district level. Park says he is meeting with members of the state legislature to get more funding for public education and possible pay raises for teachers as well.
The Phoenix Elementary School District also holding a meeting yesterday to discuss possible school closures. The district is considering closing 2 schools because of declining enrollment in the district and a projected $8 million budget shortfall next year. The district is proposing 2 plans. One would mean closing Dunbar Elementary and Hurd Elementary. The second plan would mean cuts to preschool, before and after school programs, sports, and increasing student-to-teacher ratios. Teachers and parents who spoke at the meeting favored closing the 2 schools, including the principal of Dunbar Elementary.
I understand the rationale behind the proposal to close the schools, and I support the idea of this consolidation. I believe this means we can focus our resources more effectively to make sure that all the children are receiving the kind of quality education this district really stands for.
The district is holding 3 more meetings this month to give parents a chance to weigh in on those plans. Meantime, on Capitol Hill, President Trump is reportedly planning an executive order to shut down or reevaluate the Department of Education.
There are some experts who question if this move is legal. Take a listen.
We're going to be giving back to the states. Let the state run education.
President Trump there, his vision for the Department of Education. White House officials confirmed to Fox News he will take steps later this month to review and possibly defund the agency if needed. Through other executive actions, Trump has demanded critical race theory and transgender ideology not be taught in the classroom. He's expanded school choice programs, but to dismantle the Department of Education, he will need congressional approval. Parents and teachers, they are divided on this potential move.
It's not what the American people voted for. People all across America, even people who voted for Trump, voted against vouchers, voted against cutting education, voted for education.
Allowing the decentralization of education to the states and giving more powers to local entities and authorities, I think could be a really great thing.
The latest national report card has shown U.S. children are falling further behind in reading, had little improvement in math. The pandemic has certainly played a major role in some of those lower numbers and really brought into the spotlight where our children stand on a worldwide scale. Schools are working to bring students back up to speed after many difficult months of students going back and forth from in-person and online learning during those several years of the pandemic. President Trump tapped his former small business administrator, Linda McMahon, to lead the Department of Education. Her confirmation hearing has yet to be scheduled.
Well, speaking of confirmation hearings, developing on Capitol Hill, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s nomination for Health and Human Services Secretary advanced in the Senate yesterday. Kennedy is President Trump's controversial pick to lead the $1.8 trillion department. The vote came amid deep concerns over Kennedy's past remarks on vaccine safety. Just last week, during Kennedy's nomination hearings, Louisiana Senator Bill Cassidy, who is also a doctor, admitted he was struggling with his vote after a weekend on what he calls intense conversations with Kennedy and Vice President J.D. Vance. Cassidy voted aye yesterday.
Mr. Kennedy and the administration committed that he and I would have an unprecedentedly close collaborative working relationship if he is confirmed.
In exchange for his support, Cassidy says Kennedy promised not to make changes to existing vaccine recommendations and agreed to not remove CDC statements clarifying vaccines do not cause autism. He also agreed to consult with Cassidy over new HHS hires. Also on Tuesday, the Senate Intelligence Committee voted 9-8 to advance another controversial nomination, Tulsi Gabbard. She will face a vote on the Senate floor to be confirmed as the nation's Director of National Intelligence. Time now, 7:10, and a traffic alert in the East Valley. The US 60 remains closed from Superior to Miami through Friday because of rock blasting.
Yeah, take a listen to this. we wanted to let that breathe a little bit.
That's a cool video.
It's kind of fun to listen to that whole process there. ADOT providing some new video of the process. The closure needed to safely remove unstable rocks. You can use State Route 77 and 177 through Winkleman to get around the closure. Keep in mind that detour adds about an hour to your drive, and so it takes you on the scenic route.
Yeah,
I guess
it does.
You could